Hello everyone. My name is Giorgio and I have the pleasure to represent here ClimateAO, and which is a protocol that I hope you know. I'm one of the founders. My nickname is The Lawyer altogether. I wanted to share something with you that you might not know and you might find quite shocking, but I also would like to show you our solution for this big challenge. Humanity is emitting too much carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases, which is accelerating the rate of climate change. So therefore, unless we radically reduce how much CO2 we emit, we reach a point of no return where we can reverse the effect of the climate change. The UAE, the place that is hosting me and I'm very grateful to be, is a significant contributor to global GHG emissions with the landmark buildings such as the Burj Khalifa and the hotel sector in Dubai, which alone emits like 1.2 million tons of CO2 per year. So it's like a very, very important issue that the UAE is trying to solve and is committed to solve in the next years. One of the most promising tools to bring the global GHG emissions under control is the voluntary carbon market. So the voluntary carbon market is also like nicknamed VCM, and it has like different derivatives. The VCM enables companies and individuals that want to take responsibility for their carbon emissions to drive funding to verified carbon credits projects that do good for the planet by removing or avoiding the emissions of carbon in the atmosphere. So as you see, there are two kinds of carbon offsets, so also called carbon credits, which some they focus on removal and some on reduction. So for instance, like removals can be afforestation, reforestation, ecosystem restoration, while reduction would be just like trying to avoid, so capturing the carbon emissions or like forest conservation or like renewable energy, which is like a very, very important topic, especially in countries like here where we have a lot of sun, of course. So to avoid the worst effect of the climate change, the VCM needs to scale up by a factor of 15 times by 2030. So I'm pretty sure that you at least heard more than once this date, because many, many countries, especially in the GCC area, they have an agenda in order to getting better at the emission and carbon capture in 2023. However, let me walk you through the challenges that we have stopped this from happening and how us at ClimateAO we're solving these challenges. So traditionally, the VCM, it's low. It's a disaster. It's just very, very difficult to access. The carbon credits that you purchase pass through like layers of middlemen who uses telephones, sometimes even fax machine, and I'm not joking. As carbon credits purchaser, you might have to wait anywhere from weeks to months to complete your offset. It's totally inefficient. Like if I tell you now, try to buy even 100 or 1,000 carbon offsets, is going to be a nightmare for you, because you need to call a broker. The broker needs to answer to you because maybe they have opening hours. They need to find a project for you. They need the way that you pay. So bank wires takes time. So it's really, really inefficient. With us at ClimateAO, we revolutionized this market by building a transparent, open, and public infrastructure so anybody can use, with no hoops to jump through. In the on-chain digital carbon market, so VCM, we call it DCM as digital, carbon credits can be purchased and retired instantly with your credit card or with your MetaMask. Traditionally, the VCM also has been economically inefficient because carbon credit passes through many, many layers, and every middleman adds also a bit, because everybody has to gain in fees, and it can arrive up to 400% or 300% depending on the kind of project in excess fees. With ClimateAO's infrastructure, we have almost near 0% fees, and so therefore we manage to provide the best pricing available for carbon offsets. Another thing that is very, very important is that the traditional VCM, it's totally opaque. it's very difficult for like a person which is not an operator or a broker to understand which kind of project has like a true impact and which kind of project, which kind of is the right price for the project itself. So it's, you know, these kind of things are a huge challenge, especially for people that, you know, they want to get closer to this kind of market, but they have difficulties in understanding how much they should pay, for instance, a carbon credit. So a lot of information are lost and obscures, and at this point, the trust is lost. So with us, ClimateDAO, our tools enable to make your climate actions publicly verifiable, because we built like many tools that allows you to check the liquidity, the availability, the kind of project, and therefore also the price. This is, you know, one of the nicest things of the blockchain. So let me tell you more of what we did so far and what is the biggest impact. So we launched in October 2021, 18 October 2021, unforgettable date for me, of course. And since then, we accumulated over 18 million tons of carbon in our treasury. As I told you before, UAE, the hotel sector is 1.2 million, okay? So we accumulated 18 millions. We are one of the largest holder of carbon offsets in the world. And of course, the biggest of, you know, tokenized carbon. Anyway, we've become the top market facilitator for digital carbon. The carbon credits that have been brought on chain are issued by hundreds of projects that transform the energy grid, protect forests, and have a range of other benefits for community and our climate. We have over 100 clients across the multiple sector like technology, such as Polygon, which is one of the biggest supported and like biggest offsetter, finance, Liechtenstein Bankers Association, aviation, Fly Air and President Voyage, and more that, you know, for instance, also Mark Cuban company uses our tokenized offset for offsetting his emissions, which they use constantly and are using our technology in order to fulfill their environmental goals. As you see, we also have like quite a big attraction of wallets and community. One of the most important things that we did, we're close to the end, we have built a carbon dashboard that is the leading source of digital carbon market information. As I told you, everything is transparent. We provide a bird's eye view of the digital carbon market. With like this platform, basically, you can find all the data related to carbon trading, retirements, and issuance on on-chain carbon. We see that over 25 million of carbons have been tokenized so far. This is the equivalent of the emission by 38 million round-trip flights between New York and London. 38 million round trips, so incredible. The liquidity available on-chain is now far greater than any other single liquidity source in traditionally voluntary carbon markets. But we don't do just this, but we also do integration that are good for Web 2 and Web 3. For instance, we have built something called the Green Fee Tech Stack. This enables any DeFi project to build sustainability into its core functionality. SushiSwap, for instance, is one of the projects that did this. So the carbon offset source from ClimateDAO can be automatically offset every time that a user executes a swap on SushiSwap. Let me give you just like a quick insight. Every time that you, of course, use the computer, you're using electricity, so technically there is an emission, or there is a consumption. And even if like now Ethereum is proof of stake, and even if like Polygon is proof of stake, there is still like a small consumption. So with this integration that we created, basically, we allowed all the people to do their part automatically, just with a click of a button and like a less than cents for doing so. Anyway, there is still a lot of work ahead, and we launched 1.5 years ago, as I told you. Our organization unites talents for over 50 contributors all over the world, so a total of 75 people. And everyone has a deep experience in carbon markets, technology, and business strategy and execution. So all the 50 contributors to our communities of near 10,000 members are all passionate about fighting climate change and blockchain. Our mission is to provide and scale up the transparent, neutral, and public digital carbon infrastructure to accelerate climate finance on a global scale. So I thank you so much for your attention. I hope that you liked it, and I hope that you're going to check our protocol, because we are really care about the planet, and we really think that this is one of the best solutions in order to help also the next generation and our actual generation to do more and to do better. Thank you so much.